Morning, Kindlech. Here to God willing record Oz Dalid in the Mimer Acharon Shel Pesach Tuf Shin. As always, learning to bind our souls to God, give pleasure to God, and hasten redemption. And what do you call a deer that can't? What do you call a blind deer? No idea. All right, learning about different levels of miracles, miracles beyond nature, miracles within nature, a few different levels of miracles within nature, or nature's just a thin veil, level 1. Where nature conceals a little bit, but you can still tell something out of the ordinary happened, level 2. And level 3, nature conceals it to such an extent that the person himself who experienced the miracle might not know. And we've been discussing at length the relationship between the Exodus from Egypt and the future redemption. We should have it right away. And the one thing that's been consistent is that the Exodus from Egypt was the pipe opener for all future redemptions. Mentioned that we mention the Exodus from Egypt every day, and even into the future redemption we should have it right away, because every day we are going out of Egypt heading towards redemption, whether it's our personal Egypt, our physical. First thing is to overcome the body and remember you're a spiritual being, and primarily your spiritual, that's the eternal part, and the body is the, although we can have eternal life now in these bodies, and it says that the godliness that's in the body is of a greater form, straight from Atzmus, than even the godliness that's in the soul, and that eventually the soul will nourish from the body because it's such a high level of godliness. Should have that right away. I think a person could experience such a thing a little bit now, but to maintain it is difficult. So first overcome the body, and then they have to overcome more or less their fears, their mental, emotional, psychological limitations, that where their ego is, God forbid, tripping them up, and get out of Egypt. And it's constantly ongoing. One person's all the way out of Egypt. Maybe we could say they're in the future redemption, but so it's an ongoing process. That's why the verse says the days we're constantly going out of Egypt. But in terms of why we'll mention in the future redemption, this has been the, in my opinion, the driving question of the Mimer that we've been discussing at length now for 3 chapters, and we're going to continue to discuss, God willing, believe never, because I've posted some of the later videos before the earlier videos. And I also want you to know I've made some of the earlier videos. I'm not 100% happy with their quality, and I'm debating whether or not to put them up or re-record, but I haven't abandoned you. I did make the videos. Might need an editing department. We'll have to get some funding together for that, and hopefully get some funding to improve the quality of the videos. Did try some recording from Basement Shack 770. I don't think that's going to work for us. It's just a little too loud, and people are a little freaked out by the computer, and you know, we want to represent a certain image. It's a little easier in the room. We'll control the environment, so it's just a question of what the background should be. So, it's clean, got pictures of the king, and hopefully that's good. And the verse also makes an interplay between the miracles of going out of Egypt and the miracles of future redemption. And for the most part, it seems like we're saying that the miracles of future redemption, we should have it right away, are going to be infinitely greater than the miracles of going out of Egypt, to the point where they're wondrous even in comparison to the previous wonders. But at the same time, the verse uses a chafadimion, which compares them and maybe even suggests that they're quite similar, or maybe even the miracles in Egypt were greater. So what exactly is going on? And we've seemingly suggested, for the most part, that the redemption is so much greater, the ultimate redemption, and it's going to be permanent and eternal life. And the Rebbe says many times we could have eternal life in these bodies. We just have to makabel pnei Mashiach Tzidkenu, which means memorize Mishnayos and say it in the streets, and learn about Inyan Igul and Mashiach, which we're doing now. So, we're primarily making the site to spread the Rebbe's message and bring Mashiach, hasten redemption, spread out the well springs. The main thrust is to try to reveal the Rebbe's greatness, and obviously, what's the Rebbe all about? Revealing Hashem's greatness, to make people happy serving a God, realizing their true potential, getting them excited, and ultimately getting us 100% in the future redemption. We're going to have eternal life and see that we're primarily spiritual. We have these internal godly souls. Not only that, we have a spark of the Creator inside of us, and we are godly people, and the world's a godly place. And God loves everyone. He made everyone. So if the miracles of the future redemption are so much greater, then why are we still talking about Exodus of Egypt when we go out? And in terms of these different levels of miracles, the most recent idea that we've had, or one of the most recent, maybe I should mention the 2 most recent, is that the miracle, the more enclosed it is in nature, the less apparent it is to us, the higher its source. Because to be able to bring something down all the way down to the point, what does down mean here? that it fits 100% into nature takes a higher source. And I often use the model of explaining calculus to a teenager is nice, explaining it to a 5-year-old is more impressive. Lavdil, pick whatever you like. Anyway, so the sages, when they talk about these tremendous miracles of going out of Egypt, they also bring the verse about that the miracles of future redemption are going to come from a level of Levadoi, Hashem himself, and we've discussed earlier that this level of Levadoi is the source for the miracles that are completely clothed in nature. So that was a bit of a question. How are they going to be these unbelievable miracles that are miraculous even compared to the miracles of nature? And it also seem to stem from the same level that leads to miracles that are so enclosed you can't see it. How can you have these mega nature busters and not see it at the same time? It's a little confusing. At the same time, the Rebbe made a diuk on the word arenu. He highlighted this word. I will show you that Hashem will show us wonders. When you, all right, I'm cheating a little from the end. But when we say in the, let me just see what we said here. Here we're saying, look, the miracles that are so sunken into nature, the guy doesn't even know what happened. Only Hashem knows it happened. And we've been using a model of a parking space opening at just the right time after the guy sent up a prayer and all the things that had to go into that for that to happen. So all he knows is the parking space opened up. He could be totally natural in his head. So Susie called Joe and this and that and whatever it was. So the fact that we'll be able to see it is we'll see the miraculous aspect of it, which I'm going to say means the infinite hand of God in those things. And possibly I'm suggesting for myself and other people I've been learning this mimer with that maybe it means we'll be able to see all the details behind the scene that led to that, the ultimate precision to have that happen at just that second. So the two most recent questions is how could there be these nature busters that are just beyond, we won't even see them at the same time, and this concept of I will show you. All right, with that we can start Oz Dalid with God's help. Chaim, you should everything you want and need. I made a bracha earlier. Check now. Okay, Oz Dalid. And these two types of miracles beyond nature and within nature. Each one has an advantage over the other. So let's see. And since in the future redemption everything is going to be perfect, maxed out to the 100% best possible degree. So we have to say the Mashikosov that it says Areinu Nuflaos, the fact the verse says I will show you wonders. So the idea of Hashem showing us what's happening doesn't only apply to the miracles that are enclosed in nature, it must also apply to the miracles that are beyond nature. So far, in terms of enclosed within nature, we'll say that Hashem's going to show it to us. We'll see the infinite hand of God. We'll see that it's God doing it. It won't be that it will be unrecognized by the person experiencing the miracle. It'll be clear to him that God's running the show. And so now the Rebbe says, since this concept has to also apply by nature busting miracles, what does this mean? I will show you. Seemingly, we saw those miracles. What's this show business? You saw the sea split, you saw the manna fall, you saw the river turn to blood, etc., etc. Seemingly, you saw it. So what does this concept of I will show mean in such a context? So this and this that we discussed earlier, that the miracles of going out of Egypt will be similar to the miracles of the ultimate redemption will bear some similarity, even though we seem to think they'll be much greater to the miracles of going out of Egypt. The miracles of going out of Egypt were beyond nature, they did break nature. And in addition, that the miracles are called wondrous. Why do we call those things wondrous? God can split seas, God can turn rivers to blood. What's so amazing about that? Seemingly what makes it wondrous is it's wondrous in regards to the statutes of nature, what we understand nature to be. There's these rules of nature that we experience as a simple person almost every day. Although the truth is nature is godly, and if we could walk around with that perception, we'd be in a godly world all the time, although it be godliness that fits into the world perfectly. But this would be a unity that would set us up to experience higher unities, which would be nice. But seemingly what was wondrous about it was that it split nature. Umazem move on, and from this it's understood the Mashakasav Reinu Flaus, Visa Medrash and Flaus, Shiva Gula, Asiri Gadola Yosef and Flaus Shiva Tzitz. And this that it says, I'll show you wonders, and the Medrash brings that these wonders in the future redemption will be much, much greater than the wonders of going out of Egypt. To the point that there'll be wonders even in comparison to the wonders of going out of Egypt. What is this all about? The degree to which the miracles in Egypt busted nature will be busted again to that much greater of a degree over and above how much the miracles of Egypt busted nature. Wow, that sounded pretty nerdy and squirrely. Alright, I hope that came out. Let me try to say that a smoother way. Alright, let's just say they'll be much more wondrous. But I mean, borrowing again from later in the Mimer, nature can be busted to an infinite degree. Again, the way we experience nature here, for the most part, we see these fixed rules. But in their source state, beyond time and space, they're infinite. But even within that space of their beyond time and space infinity, you can go higher and higher. You can go further and further. Infinity could be, so to speak, increased to a greater. Hashem's infinite. So reaching infinity isn't the end game. Infinity keeps going. So you could break nature to an infinite degree and then break it again and again and again. Just like you could reinvent yourself to an infinite degree and do it again and again and again. Because your soul is sourced in Hashem's essence. So at any point, you could go up, get your soul powers, reinvent it from the state of potential, bring them back down, be a brand new human being, be like, wow, I'm a whole new person. Then you could do it again. The next second be infinitely greater again. So even though very clearly the miracles in Egypt busted nature, the seemingly we're suggesting the miracles of future redemption are going to bust nature to an infinitely greater degree. Say it like that. That sounded a lot better. Sorry, Glav and Mashkas of a rain and a flow. So what does this mean? I'll show you wonders. If it's breaking nature to infinite degrees, aren't I going to see it? What are you talking about? The second question we'll discuss is the Jew going to stay in his body and he'll remain natural, but the miracles will be breaking nature? How does that work? So that interplay is coming. Seemingly, and seemingly we have to say this idea of Hashem will show you refers to these miracles also, because the ultimate redemption we have right away is of the perfect completion on every level. Particularly when we think about the idea that the miracles of the future redemption, we should have it right away, are infinitely greater than the miracles of going out of Egypt. So what's the novelty if you're going to see it? Didn't you see the sea split? Didn't you see the river turn to blood? What are you talking about? I'll see it. What's the novelty if I'll see it? I saw it. What are you telling me? So we're really trying to understand the future redemption much, much greater now. Maybe say that a little better. It seemed like up until now we were exploring more what's its relationship to going out of Egypt, which is the source state, the pipe opener for all these things. But now, in my opinion, it seems like we're exploring what's this future redemption business all about. And we got more questions than we have anything at this point. But if there's going to be some novelty of Hashem will show you, what does it mean I'll show you? You saw the nature bust, and in terms of the miracles that break nature. Hashem showed you when you got out of Egypt. You saw the sea split, etc., etc. And if these miracles in future redemption, we should have it right away or infinitely greater than that. What's this novelty if I will show you? Seemingly you'll see it. So what are we talking about? I'll show you. So this is question one. In terms of that, the miracles that are so sunken into nature, not such a question, because the guy doesn't see it now, so he'll see it then. Okay, great. And two, we're trying to understand, wait, if they're nature busters, but it has this level of levato to it, isn't levato associated with the ones the guy can't see? But anyway, the most recent question is, if they're just unbelievable nature-busting miracles in the future redemption, we should have it right away, that are just beyond, how is it, what's the novelty if I'll see it? So, I mean, seemingly, obviously you'll see it. How could you miss it? You know, if all of a sudden some nature-busting thing happened in front of your eyes, wouldn't you see it? Anyway. Gonna hold here with those Dalid. Want to wish everyone a great day. You should have cash, kids, and Mashiach. You should realize you really are godly. You have an infinite potential. I don't care what your past was or what you were getting into. Now is a new moment, a new chance to start and real God. And everything that you've gone through in the past that maybe didn't go your way, it was really just to help you reach higher, a launching point, a small fall for a major lift. If I can borrow from secular. But it's all just to lift you higher and to make the picture a little clearer, although it's likely to get fuzzy again, God forbid. then clear and fuzzy and clearer, because you're going to grow. You're not static. You're a Jew. You're going to keep moving higher and higher and higher, God willing. But all those things are really just to help you get closer to God and see God better and get more in touch with your deeper potentials and ability to reinvent yourself. So let's just remind ourselves now, we are godly. We have the ability to do the mission. We've been given enough powers. We have to focus on God and God's oneness. If we're there, we're happy. We can have this oneness blend into another oneness. If we keep God front and center in the middle of the screen, then it's a good day. It'll be a happy day. I also want you to start your own website. Pour more Chassidus on the web, more Torah on the web. It should be so flooded that you can't find the garbage on the web. Everything you type into the Google search bar, Lavdil, should be just jump out so much Torah you can't find the shtuzim. So let's keep doing it. And it's a big help to, feel a responsibility to get up and make these videos and start my day in such a way. I mean, it really helps me, likely more than it helps you. I hope it helps you. Very happy and proud that you're being part of this journey with me. It inspires me and helps me to go forward. But there's an instant benefit for me. I'm out of bed. When you first wake up in the morning, it's difficult. You just feel the physical. And it says, your neshama, your godly soul's only in your nose. So you have to teach, you have to pray, but Chassidus is considered a part of your prayer, an introduction to prayer, or preparation for prayer. Get your God focused, God-centered. Get your neshama shining up a little bit, starting to come through your body. Remember, you are in the neshama, more than the body. You're the godly spark. To have to do this, it helps. It charges me up. I wasn't in the greatest head state. Still not, but it's a lot better than it was when we started the video. And if I make another video, God willing, it'll be even greater. So let's just remember that we're godly and just take the next good move. And if we keep making good moves, God will lift the darkness, and we'll be walking around in a world of light. All right, shit.